Thank you for joining me for lesson 168 of Sefer HaMitzvos daily study. Today we've only got two mitzvahs, a positive and a negative mitzvah. Positive mitzvah 161 uh, and negative mitzvah 140. The first is the counting of the Omer. The positive mitzvah to count the Omer in Leviticus 23:15 says, "And you shall count for yourselves from the day following the first day of Passover," or it says in the verse Shabbos, but this is understood to be the first day of Passover, which we also rest from work. So we're commanded to count the Omer for 49 days, and then after that is Shavuos. So we count the Omer from the day when the Omer offering was brought into the temple on the second day of Pesach, of Passover. And there are two places where this mitzvah comes. So this is kind of uh, interesting that we have a mitzvah to count the days, and we also have a mitzvah to count the weeks. Those are not counted as two separate mitzvahs; they are counted as one mitzvah because we have one bracha, and you have to do both in order to fulfill the mitzvah, and so this is counted as one mitzvah. Biblically, because this is a time-bound mitzvah, women are exempt from counting the Omer. However, most Jewish women, many Jewish women, or most, have accepted upon themselves the mitzvah to count the Omer, and therefore they are to count the Omer. Typically, the halacha is that you should count the Omer right at the sun's gone down and at night it's become night, and then we should count the Omer, and you're not supposed to ideally do any malacha, any work, until you have counted the Omer. uh, the Alter Rebbe says in Shulchan Aruch Harav that a woman who has not accepted upon herself the mitzvah to count the Omer uh, is potentially obligated not to do any malacha for the entire night until daytime. So kind of an interesting idea there. But point is, men and women, we now generally count the Omer, but biblically there is not a mitzvah for women to count the Omer. Uh, Next is the negative mitzvah regarding eating the flesh of an animal. And so the verse Deuteronomy 14:3 says, "You shall not eat any abominable food." According to tradition, this means that food that has been disqualified from being food because it has been disqualified from being brought to the altar. So if it has been disqualified as a sacrifice because it has some sort of blemish, then it is not to be eaten. So, for instance, you might think that well, I can't bring this, but it's an animal that I normally would have been able to eat, uh, and so I'll just go home and eat this. I'll bring a different one since this has been disqualified. This mitzvah comes to tell us that you're not allowed to eat that animal once it's been disqualified as a sacrifice. You might also think that this is an animal that you were supposed to bring for an offering, and so you might have intentionally uh, blemished it. You nicked it or something like that in order to invalidate it as a sacrifice, so that you would then be able to eat it because it's invalidated. this is prohibited. You are also, remember, we also had another mitzvah that you are not to intentionally blemish a animal that's going to be brought as a sacrifice. So if you did this, you might think, well, I intentionally blemished the animal. I violated that mitzvah, but now that I've done that, I can eat it. So you took the loss on that one mitzvah, but you're going to go and eat it, and you don't think you've done anything wrong. This mitzvah comes to tell you that you have done something wrong if you do this. Um, so this would also be, if the animal had been slaughtered in the temple, and they looked at it and saw that it was disqualified after being slaughtered, then it would also be disqualified to be eaten. All right. So thank you so much for joining me today. We will be back, God willing, and with God's help, after Shabbos. We will have one mitzvah that we would study on Shabbos, and one mitzvah for the day following. If you want to study up on that for tomorrow, it's negative mitzvah 132, rejected sacrificial meat. So we'll talk about that with God's help on Sunday. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day in every way.